Welcome to the Single Father Podcast. I am your host, Kendall Donaker. This podcast is dedicated for anyone out there who's dealing with mental health and fatherhood. You'll hear about my struggles, my defeats, my victories, my highs, my lows, my triumphs, my tribulations, and everything in between. I like to call this a collection of journal entries into my struggle and adapting to single fatherhood. Without further ado, let's take a look inside my journal, the Single Father Podcast. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone who's listening. I know I haven't posted, any interviews or episodes in a while. I've just been on a little vacation. To everyone listening, this podcast is really important to me. However, true to form to this podcast, what's also important is mental health and family, my daughter. So someone asked me, how often do I post episodes? The truth is, in an ideal world, weekly. However, things happen. So lately it's been kind of whenever I feel like it. But it's going to change. I had a few things to deal with, and I'm ready and I'm back in action. But I wanted to leave you guys with the Christmas episode because I miss my listeners, and a lot of people have been still supporting me during my hiatus, which I really appreciate, and I'm just grateful. So thank you all who have been listening, supporting the podcast, and I promise you I'm back and I'm going to give you more content. Wow, it's Christmas, huh? I want to tell you guys a story. When I was younger, when I was really, really young, I remember one night on Christmas, we, as a family, made cookies for Santa. We set him out on the counter and, of course, did the normal thing of, leaving cookies for Santa and waiting for him to come and drop off presents. I remember that night specifically because that night was, rather different. As soon as I walked in to my house, I felt a difference of energy. When we made cookies, I felt something different as well. And when I went to bed, I felt, I guess the theme of it is different. I went to sleep that night, and I heard something in the kitchen. It woke me up, and I went to investigate and see what it was. I walked down the hallway and turned left to my kitchen. And in the kitchen, I saw, faced away from me, what appeared to be, you guessed it, Santa Claus. I'm not joking. Full-on Santa was in my kitchen, eating cookies. I ran back into my room and hid under the covers and just was so excited that he came. The next morning, I woke up, went into the kitchen, cookies were eaten, and my parents got a gift from Santa that neither one of them admitted to buying. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. Kendall, you're not actually telling me that you believe in Santa, right? Well, here's what I will tell you. That day that happened was an interesting day because I remember specifically saying there's no way in hell that my dad would ever put on a costume and surprise us as Santa Claus. That's just not his MO. And now as an adult, I feel the same way. There is no way in hell that my dad would ever put on a costume and surprise us as Santa. And not only did I see Santa in the kitchen that night, the next day, no costume was shown to us. No grand gestures of Santa was ever brought up to us. I can only write that off, that experience. I can only say that was truly Santa Claus, because I'm left with no other explanation. Now, I thought of different scenarios in my head. Well, maybe we were just getting robbed, and that was just a random guy in the kitchen. Well, again, woke up the next day, everything was completely normal. Cookies were eaten, strange gift that no one admitted to. I thought, or was it a secret lover that my mom had? Well, being that my parents were both in the house that night, I doubt it. See, I went over every single scenario in my head, and the only thing that I was left with is that who I saw was Santa Claus. So ever since then, I've been excited every single Christmas to bake cookies and leave it out to Santa, and hopefully the next morning I'll wake up to a miracle. Well, some time passed, and everyone who has listened to me thus far, has listened to my journal, knows that my parents got a divorce when I was early in high school. It was one of those bad divorces. In fact, it just so happens that through many reasons, this marks 11 years that I haven't seen my mom or my siblings. It also marks 11 years that I haven't spent a Christmas with all of my family together. I've spent many Christmases alone, spent many Christmases in a college dorm. I've spent many Christmases with my grandmother or just my father. But I haven't in many, many years had a Christmas with a large family and a get-together. But nonetheless, as the glamour of Christmas kind of faded away into my life, so did the love for Christmas. I stopped enjoying Christmas. In fact, I became a Grinch. Each year Christmas would come, I hated the music. I hated the TV shows that would play. I hated the bells I would hear in front of grocery stores. I hated the displays I would see at Target and Costco. I hated Santa's sleigh. I hated the hats. I hated seeing red, green. I even despised a Christmas tree. I didn't like any of it. It was just another reminder that Christmas was ripped away from me the moment my parents got a divorce. Christmas wasn't special to me anymore. It was just another reminder that my family is not together, or that I would potentially be spending Christmas alone. So each Christmas, I just felt so bah humbug. However, the only thing that I did keep as a tradition is each and every Christmas, whether I was alone or not, and I went out to the store, I bought some chocolate chip cookies, I baked them, I left out cookies and milk right on my counter, and I left them for Santa, hoping that I would wake up to a miracle like I did so many years ago. As you can guess, many, 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 many years, that miracle never came. Last Christmas, I baked the cookies. I left them on my counter, as well as a half glass of milk. And once again, I woke up disappointed. because I didn't see any miracle. My family and I weren't together. There was no magic display of what you would see on TV shows and movies. It was just the same. The same as it was every single year before then, the same as it was the year before, and the same as it was the year after. It was just the same thing. In fact, it became so much of a pattern where I started to believe maybe I didn't see Santa that night. Maybe it was all a dream. All those years ago of what I thought was so abundantly real, maybe it was just a real feeling dream. So I started to lose faith. And when I had my daughter, well, I was going through a lot of drama with her mother at the time. So I never really got to enjoy the Christmas. There was always something of drama or sharing my child I felt uncomfortable about, or once again, spending Christmas alone, knowing that I'm co-parenting with a woman that I don't get along with. I always felt second best, you know? My child would go home to her mother with a plethora of family that give her gifts and shower her with love, and me, she just has me. So I'd feel sad. However, something happened this year that surprised me. Something happened this year that shook me. It took me by surprise. Oh, one might even call it a miracle. This year, as Christmas began, the first time you start to hear the Christmas songs on the radio, I didn't turn them off. I actually welcomed them. This year, as rough as it was for everyone, I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter. A lot of time with myself. A lot of time reflecting, learning, growing. This year, where everyone stays at home, some people think that's a bad thing. I thought it brought me closer to my family, to myself, to my daughter. So this year, where I've been so blessed, and I hate to say it because I know a lot of people have had a hard time, I've actually been blessed this year. This year I had no drama. Financially stable. I felt like I'm a good father. I had enough money to buy her presents. I felt good this year. And for the first time in many, 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 many years, the first time I heard a Christmas song this year, I turned it up. This is the first time I actually bought a tree in a long time. In fact, I felt so good. Me, by myself in my condo, I decorated my whole house. I bought a Grinch inflatable thing. I put snow everywhere around my house. I bought the Polar Express to go down my staircase. I bought a little train Santa to go around my tree. I filled my tree with ornaments, lights, and beautiful sparkles, and red and green, whatever. I bought so many decorations that you'd think a whole family lived there, like an elf shop. I set a timer each time I came home from work to play Christmas music to welcome me home to. My iPhone made a countdown to Christmas on one of those widget things. And I smiled when I saw Christmas decorations in the store. When I heard those bells jingle in front of the stores, I gave money to them. I did adopt a family where I helped someone else out for Christmas. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I was happy. And the most shocking part about it is I didn't even realize that I was doing it. For the first time in a long time, I actually was enjoying Christmas time. And I didn't quite know why. I didn't know if it was because of all the things I mentioned before that I just felt good this year, but there's many times that I felt good and just still felt shitty around Christmas. I wasn't sure what brought back the Christmas spirit inside of me, but here I am, decorating my house to make it look as beautiful as possible. Something that my daughter would remember. But then came Christmas. Last night, I made cookies with my daughter. And we both had our fair share of stomach aches. But we made cookies together. We laughed and created a huge mess all over the kitchen. And we put out cookies for Santa. And put out some milk. And we went to sleep. And then I woke up this morning. And when I went downstairs, I saw that the cookies were not eaten. The milk was, of course, not drinking. However, for the first time since all those years ago, I did see a miracle. I looked around my house. Toys everywhere. My house decorated in Christmas spirit. And my beautiful daughter's presence everywhere in my home. And I saw my miracle. My miracle was my beautiful daughter. And I didn't even see it before. But the Christmas miracle that Santa gave me was staring right in front of me the entire time. My beautiful daughter, Layla. The best Christmas gift I could have ever gotten. She brought back the Christmas spirit inside of me. The love that I lost from Christmas was suddenly back into my heart. And it's like my heart started beating again. I smiled. Because the gift, the miracle that I was looking for, was just unconditional love. something that has been missing from my life for so long. Unconditional love. And I realized I don't need anyone or anything other than that little girl. Just her smile, the confidence that she gives me, the motivation that she brings into my heart, and the joy that she brings into my life. That is my gift. That's my Christmas miracle. That's what I've been waiting for all these years. And for those of you wondering, of course I think Santa's real. I wanted to share that with you because a lot of us during this time can feel lost. A lot of us feel broken and betrayed, maybe hurt, afraid, forgotten about. But you don't need a child to bring back the joy into your life. You just need love. And love comes in many different forms and many different variations. You can even love yourself. And that's good enough, isn't it? Being able to love yourself. For the first time in a long time, I love myself. I love the man I am today. I love the father I am. I love who I am. I found it a little bit hard this year because I was talking to someone that I care about that's going through a really tough time right now with Christmas and the holidays. And it was hard because every time I talk to this person, I don't want to say they brought me down, but they don't have a lot of good things to say. I mean, they're going through a tough time. And each time I spoke to them, it was one thing after the other. And I felt so confused that I couldn't relate to that. I know what she's talking about. I just felt like I couldn't get there. It's like I got to a new stage of consciousness where I don't let the negative things bother me anymore. I just think about what I'm blessed or what I'm blessed for, and I smile because of those blessings. Yeah, I didn't have my family with me this year. And do I miss them? Of course. And without my daughter, am I a little more lonely? Of course I am. But I have a beautiful daughter, and therefore I'm blessed. I have a home over my head, and therefore I'm blessed. My rent is paid, and therefore I'm blessed. I buy everyone I love Christmas gifts, and therefore I'm blessed. I feel blessed. As selfish and insensitive as it sounds, I just feel good, and I don't think about what's dragging me down. I just think about what's lifting me up. Isn't that what the Christmas spirit's supposed to do to you? Let all the bad things stay in the past and worry about what's right in front of you and Focus on what's to come. Living in the moment and cherishing the people that are around you. I feel blessed. But I also felt sad for this person because I didn't know what to say that would really make a difference. What you want to say is just, well, pucker up and just move on. Lift up your chest and focus on what's next. I felt bad. I just wanted to tell them everything will be okay if they just have faith. I wanted to bring up every cliche to them. I wanted to say everything is okay in the end, and if it's not okay, then it's not the end. What can you say to a person that's going through a tough time and, well, you're not? I guess all you can do is just listen. And isn't that what we all want? Just someone to hear us, to listen to us, not to keep bringing up multiple answers and how everything will be better and giving advice on what you need to do. Sometimes all we want is just someone to listen, to validate our feelings. Not to join them in their pain, but to be there for them when they're in pain. Not to borrow our hand, but to use our hand to lift them back up, to pick them back up again. And I think if all of us just took the time to listen to each other, to be a pack, the VentPack, I think a lot of us would feel a lot better than we do today. But hey, I'm just venting to you. What do I know? I feel good, and I wanted to share that with you. There's a lot of things I want to share with you that coming up is going to be it's going to be an emotional ride. I'm going to share the good parts about my life, and I'm going to share the bad parts. This season is going to be a true journal. And I'm back, and I'm ready to tell you everything that I have to offer, everything that I have to share. I'm just here to vent with you. I'm here to vent to my pack. And I hope all of you will just, well, listen. And on that note, thank you for listening. I love all of you. I hope all of you have an amazing Christmas, holiday, Hanukkah, whatever the case may be. I hope love gets spread to you and your family. And if you have any comments or questions that you want to throw at me or just have a chat, follow our Instagram, which is VentPack Journal. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Kendall Donaker. And look at our website, which is ventpack.org. And you can see a lot of articles and things on there that I post every once in a while. I'm going to be posting an article soon called The Challenges with Co-Parenting. And it's going to give you a little bit of an insight to kind of what I go through and the roller coaster that is co-parenting. I want to tell all of you today that if you're going through a hard time, I'm here for you. God's there for you. Someone is there for you. You just got to find the right person who will listen to you. I was going through a hard time for so many years of my life, and I thought that was the only way that it would ever be. Until I found a new way, a better way. And it starts just by loving who you are, loving yourself. At least that's my way. And hey, it's not a light switch. It's a journey. And I want to share that journey with you. So, reach out to me if you want. I look forward to hearing all of your comments, questions, and concerns. And more episodes coming soon. Thank you for letting me vent. This was, well, hey, days like this, I'm just glad I have someone to listen. Until next time, bye-bye.